Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Reselling Rhythms. Thank you for joining me tonight. On today's show, I'll be discussing several concepts and current events that are affecting us as resellers in their community. Some of these things I monitor through other reselling chats. I try to stay up to date and on current events and make sure that I pass this along to you folks through the live stream as well as through my Facebook group. That's something else I wanted to bring up. If you're not subscribed to my Facebook group, we'll mention that later. But in the meantime, I just want to say hello to a few people in the chat as the chat's filling up. The YouTube notifications will be going out. I'd like to thank Sharon for being here, my moderator. And I'm sure that we'll have a few other people joining us shortly. I did send out a few invitations. Tonight is an open panel discussion. So if you're interested in joining me on the panel, I will be putting the link to StreamYard link periodically in the chat. So feel free to join me. Again, I did send out several invitations, and I'm going to send out a couple through Messenger right now, but I will put them in the chat. Michelle, thank you for joining us. Always appreciate you being here. So let me put in the invite for you guys if you want to join me on the panel. Again, I sent it out to several people, and sometimes people are super busy in the evenings, and sometimes they're not, but we'll do the best we can. But I do have some good information. One other thing I want to make you aware of, I do have something going to save you a decent amount of money. So if you can hang to the end, I'll make sure that I'll make you guys aware of this money-saving device. So that's my little tease. I have you guys hang with me for a little bit tonight. So I'm going to put the link in the chat here. So if anyone wants to join me, this is the StreamYard link. It's relatively easy to use this. So if you haven't used it before, it's pretty self-explanatory. I can work you through it. So anyway, let's get started. So again, I told you guys I want to discuss a few of the current events that are affecting us as resellers. One of the things that has come up, if you're not aware of it, again, like I said, I monitor their other reselling chats and other shows, and as well as Facebook groups. One of the things that has come up is that there's a glitch in the eBay system, especially when you use the mobile app. So what's happening is when you use a mobile app to do your listings, and I know some people prefer to do that. They say it's quicker, especially if you have a good camera on your phone. I personally don't have a great camera on my phone, so what I do is I take pictures with my phone, then I upload them into my computer and edit it into my computer, and then upload the listings from my computer, my desktop. But a lot of people do it strictly from their phone, and some people don't have computers or desktops or laptops, so they have to do it through their mobile devices, whether it be a tablet or a phone. So what's currently happening is some of the listings are defaulting to free shipping, even though the person that's doing the listing doesn't want free shipping. They're using calculated shipping. Now, I personally don't typically use calculated shipping. I either use free shipping, where obviously it's not free. I build the cost into the shipping of the product. If I say I want to get $20 for the item and its shipping is $5, just to make the math easy, I would say, okay, it's $25 or $24.99. So basically, I'm getting my $20 and I'm charging for the shipping. One other thing I want to make you guys aware of, again, that was probably a bad example because you have to pay commissions as well on your shipping. So make sure when you factor in your shipping costs that you do factor in there's additional fees involved with shipping. Typically, I round up to about 15%. Back when PayPal was the main provider for processing payments through eBay, it's a 2.9% plus the 30 cents. And typically it's 10% commission. So I rounded up to 15%. So that's something to consider, especially if you're paying $10, $12, $15 for shipping. You're paying additional $1.50, $2 additional in fees for your shipping. Again, guys, so I put the link in the post, in the chat. So if you want to join me, please feel free to hop on. So that's something to be aware of. Also, when listing through the app, there's been some issues where best offers are added to the listing when the lister didn't want best offers. So, I guess that's a little annoying if you're getting best offers on a listing. I've done that myself personally, but that's been my mistake when I've listed on the computer and I've been like a little tired. I'm listing at night or something, and inadvertently it was checked off by default in the listing to best offer, and I might miss it. But this is happening randomly. Quite a few people have noticed this. Dom, Primetime Treasure Hunter, has done 2 videos on this. One video where he brought up the issue, then he requested people to contact him with their specific issues. Then he did another video where he discussed it, and he's been in touch with 2 of the vice presidents at eBay. I did mention before in the show, I don't know if you guys recall, but Marnie, I forget her last name, is one of the VPs. She's involved in the seller experience through eBay, and she does a weekly YouTube show. It's recorded, but she does a weekly YouTube show where she updates, our sellers on what's going on with eBay. So that's something to be aware of. If you list specifically, and that's all you do is list through your cell phone or through your tablet. Make sure you're constantly checking your listings to make sure that the shipping is not incorrect, and also make sure that you don't have best offers where you don't want to have best offers. So again, that's something to consider, guys. So make sure you're looking at that. Another thing that's happening is that on Macquarie, again, I don't list on Macquarie, but I know some of you do. Macquarie is raising the rates. I know some people prefer to use Macquarie. It was a little less expensive than eBay, but again, consider that Amazon is a 600-pound gorilla. They're doing huge volumes. In fact, they're hiring quite a bit. I listened to a local radio station. They advertise all day long. They're opening up another warehouse in my community, and they were advertising like crazy for people to come on and to join, with Amazon, work in Amazon's warehouse. So anyway, what they're doing now is, I believe they're using PayPal, because the way that the fee is structured, they're charging 2.9% additional fee plus the 30-cent transaction fee. So that sounds a lot like PayPal. So for all intents and purposes, Macquarie now is charging the same rate as what eBay is charging. So like I say, typically eBay is around 15%. Now eBay with the managed payments is going to be slightly less. It might be 14%, but that's something to consider. Macquarie rates have gone up. I know in some of the chats and some of the Discord chats and some of the other Reddit chats, people are complaining about this, and they're saying that they may eventually just use eBay and disregard Macquarie, not use Macquarie anymore. So that's two of the issues that are happening. Okay. A few other notes I want to bring up to you guys. And again, let me put the link again for the StreamYard if anybody wants to join me. And I'm going to send out, just give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to send a link directly to someone that I had spoke to earlier that I thought was going to join me. And I guess she got busy with something and she is not here. So just give me 1 second, guys. I want to send her out the link. So let's see here. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, it's not cooperating. There we go. Okay, we took care of that. Okay, so the other thing is, I had, like I said, I made a few notes here. I told you about, if you have questions about that with the eBay, with using the app, check out Dom's Primetime Treasure Hunters videos. That will help you. He discusses it and some of the alternatives. Unfortunately, the main thing is, hello, can you hear me, B? Let me just make sure I unmute you. Can you hear me now? Oh, I don't know why I can't unmute your mic. Is your mic muted possibly? Because I'm trying to unmute you and you're not getting unmuted. Can't unmute the guests because they muted themselves. Okay, you have to unmute your microphone, B. I'm trying to unmute you here on my end. I can't. You have to make sure you allow StreamYard to allow your microphone to work. So if you can do that, then you're in the stream. So you just have to unmute your microphone, and that's in your settings. You'll see that down below. It'll say cam mic, like a little gear, and you have to click on that and allow it to. There you go. Hello. Now I see your ceiling, and I hear you. Oh, and we have Miss Valerie joining us.
I think I'm live.
There you are. You're live.
Yay!
We had B. I'm sure she'll be back, but she didn't have her microphone on, and then she did, and then I guess she had a problem with her phone, but she'll be back. So, anyway, thank you for joining me.
My pleasure.
Okay. I don't know if you were here earlier. I was discussing the little glitch with the eBay app. Did you hear what I was discussing?
Is it the one that Dominic was talking about?
Yes. I brought that up. What Dominic was discussing. Yes.
Yeah.
Have you had any experience with that? Have you had any problems with that?
No. But I do list from my desktop.
Right.
Then I go upstairs and I load my photos from the app. But I've already set everything, and then when I go through the app and add the photos in, if I make it go live, then I double check everything. But I haven't had it, knock on wood, hadn't had it happen to me yet.
Right. Well, what I do is I basically do the same thing, but I do it in reverse. I take my pictures first, then I upload them, and then I do all my listing through my laptop.
Gotcha.
But like I said, by accident I made it like best offer. I've forgotten to check off because sometimes they check off these boxes. And when I was watching Dom's video, the second video he did, because unfortunately I don't have time to watch everybody's video.
I know.
So I pick and choose. And when I heard there was an issue through one of the chats, through one of the reselling chats, I said, well, let me watch Dom's video. And then I did. And then I watched the second one where he was talking about the solution. But basically the solution is to list on your desktop or your laptop to monitor everything.
Right.
If you don't have it, not a lot of people, but some people don't have a desktop, don't have a laptop. They list exclusively on their phones or their tablets or whatever. So that's an issue. I couldn't
imagine.
To me, I know like Casey the Rockstar Flipper, I think he does the majority of his listings from the phone, but to me, I don't know. To me, it's extra work.
I've worked from home for 30 years. So, I've got my full setup with my computers. I've got multiple backup computers in case this computer dies. I've got an identical model to back it up. I've got 2 servers upstairs if I need them. I've got multiple laptops.
You sound like you're all set.
Well, I've just been working from home for so long.
Yeah, that's right. You worked for that gentleman for what? For over 20 years, the gentleman from Florida, right?
25 years I worked for him. I still talk to him almost every day. I talk to him in the morning. Great. So.
Yeah, so I want to bring that up. The other issue was, I don't know, do you list on Macquarie at all?
I have in the past, but no.
I know a lot of people don't, but again, that was another thing that has come up in the reselling chats, that Macquarie is, as of October 1st, is raising their rates. They're charging an additional 2.9. It sounds like basically it's a PayPal fee. They're charging the 2.9% plus 30 cents per transaction.
I just wonder how they can justify it because the way you accept the terms is by listing after October 1st.
Right. That's what they're doing. They're saying anything that's listed prior to October 1st, I believe it'll be grandfathered in as November 1st. Once November rolls in, then they'll add that additional fee to it. And then what they're saying is, and again, I don't sell Macquarie, so I'm not that familiar with the platform, but they're saying they have made improvements to their platform. They've gotten discounts on shipping. I don't know, again, but that's how they're justifying that price increase. But reading some of the Reddit posts, people are saying it's basically the same as eBay now. So why use Macquarie? I guess if you're cross-posting, it's another platform to list on, but
it's still a different audience, I think.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
It's just like Etsy's a platform. Like I used to sell on Etsy, and we would I have my shop on Etsy, and then I've been listing with friends for 7 years on Facebook. I haven't made any jewelry in a while, but that's what I used to sell with them. So it's always just about more eyes on anything that you're selling. So, and I don't blame Macquarie for starting to charge it, but I'm surprised they hadn't charged the payment processing before.
Right. Well, that's like when I had Barry on, I wanted him to speak about Bonanza because again, that's integrated through eBay, and apparently it's pretty seamless. Felicity Bonanza, and it's like the baby brother, so it does very little volume. But again, it's like you said, it's different eyes sometimes.
My thing with Bonanza, I tried doing that where I synced it with eBay, and I had a problem with it. Like if I had a sale on my items, it would put the sale price over on Bonanza, but then when my sale went off, my prices didn't change on Bonanza. So
okay, so it wasn't synced that way.
That was the problem.
I did ask Barry that, and he wasn't certain, so maybe that is an issue.
That was an issue for me, and so I just.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up because I don't sell Bonanza. I basically just sell on eBay. So I said to Barry, well, if you run it again, almost identical to what you're saying.
Yeah.
So if you're running a sale on eBay, does it sync? And he wasn't certain. So again, you're telling me that it does not sync.
It's been a year or so since I did it, but
they may have corrected it, but it's quite possible that it doesn't sync.
And every platform that we're on, there's always some sort of a glitch, you know. It's we're at the mercy of the platforms.
True.
So.
Okay, I just want to check my notes. One thing I'm going to bring up with you. I was going to mention about your ThreadUp boxes. I was going to bring up about ThreadUp if anybody in the chat is using the ThreadUp. I know you are. You purchased the ThreadUp boxes. Then there are other people that are shipping things in to sell.
I've ordered a label. I have a label that I can print out.
Right.
I haven't gotten to that point yet. I sort of my ThreadUp boxes were twofold. I was ordering them to get inventory because my Goodwills here. Can I say suck on here?
Yes, yeah, we'll say so. That's PG rated.
Again, my Goodwills here are terrible.
Right.
And I needed some fresh inventory to motivate me to list, you know.
Right.
And I just rebooted my eBay the 1st of July. So I needed inventory.
Right.
And that looked like fun. And, you know, the odds are you're going to at least get one super item in each box, you know. Then the other side of it was it helped me to reboot my YouTube. So I'm having fun.
True.
I've still got eight boxes upstairs to.
You purchased 8 boxes or 9
more,
boxes?
More. 8 more upstairs.
8 more.
Yeah.
So how many did you purchase altogether?
Oh gosh, I lost count.
Okay. Well, we want to ask that.
Well, there was 1 week a few weeks ago where like they all popped up available, and I'm like, do one, you know, and I wanted to try some different ones. Now, you know, I make my own jewelry, but
right.
I bought the jewelry box. I bought the DIY one I haven't unboxed yet. I bought some different ones just to spark something in myself, you know, need some inspiration. So yeah, and my cat guards them upstairs. AKA she sleeps on the boxes.
Oh, okay, so she's guarding them. Okay.
Yeah, she's guarding them.
Okay.
So I mean it was just killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So I would get inventory and I would make a YouTube video, and it's getting me a little bit more comfortable in the camera.
Yeah, I mean, no matter how many times you do it, obviously when you first do it, you're very uncomfortable, and then like I say, I mean, I have these things I want to go over, and then I'm taking notes and I'm rewriting my notes, and it's like I'm reading my notes, and it's like
I can't get the words out right, you know, like welcome to my channel, you know, subscribe, you know, and all those things. It's like, oh my gosh, you know, I sound so silly.
Well, again, guys, we're just discussing a little bit of YouTube. We'll get back to the reselling very quickly. So I want you guys to leave. So we'll be discussing reselling. Hey, Steven, thanks for joining us. But with YouTube, when you do the recorded videos, the thing is you can edit that out. So when you're doing lives are lives, and things that happen. I mean, I've been on live before where I inadvertently had my I have my tablet on here just to monitor that, you know, if the things are coming up on the because I have my main page with StreamYard here on my laptop, and then I have the regular, you know, the live stream on my tablet here, my iPad. And what happened was I forgot to turn the volume off on my iPad, not thinking I hear feedback, and I think I had something on my computer. I clicked the button, and I closed StreamYard. Thank God I had Barry. No, I had Barry. Who did I have on? I had Beth, and I had Bill on.
Mm-hmm.
So they riffed for 30 seconds until I was able to get back in the StreamYard. But that's what happens with live sometimes. I watch a show. And again, guys, I'm gonna get right out. I'm gonna get to YouTube. I don't want to talk too much of YouTube. I know it's reselling, but I watch a show called Live Streaming Pros. They have more problems than anybody can imagine, and they're supposed to be the professionals. They have all kind of issues with live stream. Anyway, let's get back to reselling, because we're here to talk about reselling. But yeah, I am glad you are doing YouTube. So again, we were talking about the ThreadUp boxes. So you purchased quite a few boxes through ThreadUp, and I know that quite a few people have done sent in things through ThreadUp to sell.
Right.
And apparently they're doing relatively well. And my understanding is you get paid the commission when the item sells through ThreadUp.
Right. And like I said, I've got a label to ship. I'm going to ship 1 box of 30 pounds in.
Okay.
Oh, wow. but what I overanalyze everything. Usually I get paralysis by analysis. So I'm trying to learn all the things beforehand about selling on ThreadUp. I
Right.
think it's a very viable solution for selling. But I also think that you need to figure out what are the best brands.
Well, that was a question I had too. Do they have a list of the brands that they solicit? I mean, I know like with Plato's Closet, they have a list on their website of the brands that they will purchase typically. So you don't just go in with like, Gap or stuff that they won't purchase. So kind of before you go in, they will buy these certain kind of brands. Do they have that on their site anywhere on ThreadUp site?
I think that they might. I haven't seen it yet. I've just been learning from other YouTubers.
Right.
Ann Taylor, not Loft, but Ann Taylor does a really good on ThreadUp.
Not the Loft though. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right. And
but the Loft is the discount version.
Right. And someone said, I joined a Facebook group, a ThreadUp Facebook group.
Okay.
Someone was just saying in there, I was reading a post just this afternoon that Madewell is really hot on ThreadUp right now.
I hear Madewell sells well, yeah.
Right. So
no
I think
pun intended, but it was kind of fun.
Madewell. Yes. So, I mean, I'm learning more from other people that are selling on ThreadUp of what brands that they're sending in and being profitable.
Right.
The one thing that I'm seeing in that ThreadUp group, it's not only sellers, it's also buyers. And a lot of the buyers are upset because, and I'm just telling honestly what I've heard so that, I'm not going to throw shade. And
right.
The buyers are seeing the increased prices.
Okay.
And they're attributing the increased prices to the courses that some sellers are putting out there to teach new sellers how to sell on ThreadUp. They're telling these people that are sending in clothes that you can, within 12 hours of your package, your clothing, your kit being processed, within 12 hours, you can adjust your price. So jack it up to 80% of the retail price. But the buyers are seeing it and they're saying, guys, this is secondhand clothing. Why are you jacking the price up almost to retail? And it's turning buyers off. Well, we don't want to turn buyers off, but we'd like a fair price for what we're selling. So whenever I send my kit in, I'm not going to I'll jack them up a little bit, but I'm not going to go and jack them up 80%, of the
right.
retail.
When I had Megan on, we had discussed ThreadUp, and Jen was in Jen. She's not in the chat tonight, but she was in the chat. She's a friend of Megan's, and she was saying the same thing. You're allowed 12 hours to adjust your prices. I wasn't aware of what that was for, so that's basically what that's for. So you can they set a price and you can adjust it upwards or downwards. I mean, adjust it downwards. But
they actually will put on there a retail price, like an original retail price.
Okay.
And then they'll put a price on a low price. And then, so what they're saying is in that within 12 hours, you can go and put your price back up. And
so you can adjust the price to where you want to sell it at, and then you're pretty much locked in for the remainder of that listing.
Right.
Okay.
So buyers are just saying, people that don't sell on it, they're buyers, they're saying that they've seen a ridiculous increase in price lately. So, and they're still going to look for bargains. Apparently, ThreadUp's been around since 2009.
Yes. Yeah, that's been around for a while.
Right. So they've got their list of, people that like that platform.
Well, yeah, there's several other subscription platforms. Again, you would probably know better than I, but there was another one that's been advertised on the radio lately. I'm not even sure what it's called, but it's again, it's like ThreadUp. You may know what it is. I'm not recalling it right now, but it's not important. But anyway, they're advertising because I guess a lot of people are buying online. They're concerned about going into retail stores, which I don't blame them.
Right.
And then I was talking to someone today, and they were saying that they feel that a lot of people will be purchasing work clothes, but buying the used. I said, okay, well, I don't know if they'll buy used work clothes. And again, that was another question I was going to bring up, during the chat to people in the chat, and obviously to you now. Do you think with the back to school, a lot of it being remote, you think that will affect the back to school bump? Because typically there's a back to school bump with online sales, retail sales too, as well.
Right. I think it'll have an effect on clothing, like parents that go out
Right.
and spend $200 for clothes for their
New
kids.
sneakers, new clothes.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen because, there's so many different parts of the country where some are like, nope, we're sending our kids back to school. New York is starting online or something. Florida is, so I'm sort of skipping. Personally, I'm skipping the back to school rush
Right.
of selling, and I'm trying to focus more now on fourth quarter.
Right. Well, that makes sense because, like I said, again, this is just my opinion. I have no facts, to back it up. I just feel from my experience that back to school is not going to be the typical back to school because there's so much remote learning going on.
Yeah,
I know. I was just out of curiosity. I was checking some of the local school districts. I didn't check my particular district today.
right.
I did check another local district, and they are starting out in school. But I know a lot of the local colleges have started back last month, and they've already closed like for 2 weeks or 3 weeks at a time because they've had so much. When you're going to school and you're living in a dorm, I mean, again, I didn't live in dorms. I commuted. People have heard my story how my father was ill, and I had to help my father, so I commuted to school. But if you go to school, that's part of the experience. You want to be with your friends. You want to hang out.
Yep.
How do you tell these people that, to quarantine themselves in the room and to wear a mask all the time? I mean, that's what they're supposed to do. But how do you tell an 18 or 19-year-old or 20-year-old to do that?
And sit around in your pajamas all day. You
Right.
can't go out to the clubs. You can't go to class.
You can't go to your friends' rooms. You can't hang out. You can't go to parties. And
I'll tell you one thing though. If I had children, my daughter, she just started back to, she just got approved for admitted to grad school.
Oh, great. Congratulations.
Degree. She's doing 2 classes online this semester. She doesn't have any in-person classes. But if I had kids school age with all this stuff going on, you bet your butt I'd be homeschooling them. But
I'm not a parent either, but that's how I would feel.
Mm-hmm. I only did mine for a few years. Like my youngest, I homeschooled her through middle school, and because I was so afraid of her getting bad influences, anyways. And then my older daughter, I homeschooled in elementary school.
Okay.
And I just got lucky,
Well, the other issue is too, and again, I'm concerned about the teachers and the support staff, the administration, the cafeteria workers, the custodians.
It is crazy times right now.
Yeah.
So I'm not betting on any back to school. I'm sort of honestly I'm trying to find new tags items for
right
quarter. And I might start stocking up on healthcare items like toilet paper, tissue paper, things that they ran out of last time because they talk about a second wave.
Yes, right. I have plenty of toilet tissue. I don't have a lot of paper towels.
I mean, I've got this 1,700 square foot basement. I've got the room. So I'm going to be working on putting more shelves in, and I'm going to find things to stock up on for the next time. Get it now before it runs out again.
I got a little sidetracked. I had to go to my chiropractor, and I was telling the reception. Oh, I know. That's another story. I thought about my health sometimes. I have some health issues, so I went to a homeopathic doctor. Anyway, I was talking to her receptionist, and I was on Yahoo, and I get a lot of my news through Yahoo. They seem like they post a lot of current events. So anyway, they posted that Amazon now had Lysol disinfectant wipes and disinfectant spray. And I'm thinking, okay. And they said $42. I said, $42? What could be $42? I clicked on Amazon's page. It's 1 container of wipes and 1 bottle of spray, $42.
That's price gouging.
How is that exactly? I was going to say, how is that not price gouging? How is Amazon allowing that?
And see, I don't want to do it.
eBay won't allow that. I mean, that's what they claim. They won't allow price gouging.
Yeah, I don't want to stock it for price gouging purposes.
No, I'm not saying you will. I'm
Right.
just saying you just got me, just jogged my memory about that when you said that.
That's crazy. I want to see what addicted to hustle as a joke. I have a roll of toilet paper on my collection wall. I love that.
Stephen has your change will be, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
we're hoping, Stephen, there'll be herd immunity. We're hoping.
I have a small basement.
We're hoping there'll be herd immunity. I mean, I'm not flying within the next year, that's for sure. There's a couple places I want to go. I miss going to Vegas. I know you and Beth were talking about going to Vegas and eBay Open, or maybe making a separate trip. And
yeah,
I miss Vegas, and a couple places I want to go.
I've never been.
You've never been? No,
and that was the whole thing with going to Vegas, was because I could do it as a business expense. If I went to eBay Open,
true,
then it would be a business expense, and I'd get to go to Vegas.
Right.
Yeah, we were planning on doing the zip.
Well, I would hook you up with. I have a lot of points for Caesars. I would hook you up with Hell's Kitchen. We got some nice meals there.
I'm not worried about
and you can eat all my gluten and all my stuff that has eggs and milk products in it, because I can't eat that anymore. I want
to go zip lining.
That was the other thing. They were supposed to go zip lining, and those guys got all banged up at night. I didn't go out at night. I said, "Look, guys, if you're going out, give me a collar." So they didn't want to go out with the older guy that doesn't drink anymore. So they all went out and got all banged up and went out to Fremont Street. And I don't think anybody did the zip line.
Oh, I will do it. It's just, I'm my age. My birthday's a week from a week from today. And I'm getting new glasses, and they are wild.
Look what Steven says here. This is interesting. I hadn't heard this, Steven. Oh, I'm sorry. You want to put the wrong one here. Here we go. Heard a lot of people being suspended on the eBay for having an auction bid up on COVID supplies.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, is don't do it I'm not doing it to price gouge. I'm just doing
No, I'm not. Please, I'm not accusing you of that. Don't mistake this.
I'm trying to think ahead to where, like, I'm always just trying to think of something that will just bring activity to my store.
Right.
And so I just want to have a little bit, because it'll attract people. I'm even thinking about starting to make jewelry again. So
I forget what kind of jewelry were you making? Lori's in the chat. I mean, she sells jewelry, and her father collects jewelry, and she has a lot of friends that actually make jewelry, custom jewelry. Did you see Gianna when I had Gianna on? She makes Native American jewelry. Yeah. She makes some really. In fact, I was looking for it. I misplaced. I buy so much jewelry, and it's like, Lori, I buy stuff. In fact, I have one of Lori's packages right here. It's like I said, I thought it was Gianna's. It's like, oh, I'm going to get this, and it's Gianna's. I'm going to show Gianna's, and I don't want to say Lori's address, but it's Lori's package. It's like, I buy this stuff, and I never list it.
Can you see this?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
That's a solid sterling silver.
Yes.
Yeah, I made that.
Oh, you made that?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
I don't do like just Sandy. She does really intricate.
I was going to say, because I know Sandy very well. Yeah.
Beautiful.
But you have a mold where you melt the silver and then you make it custom and then engrave it or whatever.
No, I don't do. No, actually, this was just sterling silver band that I soldered, and what's on top of it, because this is a one of a kind ring. The engraving is a triple goddess. It's a pagan.
Okay.
It's a pagan symbol. I can't. Okay. I'm terrible. See, I don't know how to do all this stuff.
Well, it's reversed too. That's the other issue with StreamYard. Guys, when you come on StreamYard, everything is mirror image. So like you go to the right, it's to the left. You go to the left, it's to the right. Sometimes I'm setting up my camera. It's like I move it to the right. It's like, dummy, you got to move it to the left.
It's the same thing, front or back.
Yes.
Oh, wow. I'm not good with this stuff. But anyway,
what size is that? What size is the ring?
I don't know.
Oh, we haven't measured it.
Oh,
well, that's another thing. I have it around here somewhere.
I got it right here. My ring mandrel. This is my steel one.
Oh yeah, that's what I have. I have one here somewhere.
Because I hammer.
Then I have these too. I was going to get all in the jewelry. These are the ring little things you.
Yeah. Ring
size. And then I have the mandrel too, and then I have the little hammer.
That's
what I have. Yeah.
Because that's what I hammer the rings on.
Right.
It's an 8 1/4, and So anyways, this is simple jewelry that I used to have my workshop back at my house in Mount Vernon. But I also make mala bracelets, the stretch bracelets, but I use semi-precious gemstones, and I've got thousands of dollars in beads, and I get my sterling silver wire. I get it from Rio Grande in New Mexico.
That's the Sandy buys from. Yeah.
Straight from the manufacturer. Don't give me no China crap. And I make leather. Well, I make leather.
See this young lady?
Yeah, babe. That's
I'm all about getting into the jewelry. One of these days I'm going to do it. I swear.
here. This is So the thing is you always hear here. This is my my leather bracelet. That's leather and amethyst.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And so I learned how to do all the leather knots and whatnot.
You should. I mean, I don't want to tell you what to do, but you should. I think that's your key. That's where you should be.
Well, it's
on Etsy and on whatever else platform you're still on.
It's what Chris Lynn teaches. The way to scale up my eBay store is replenishables. Well, instead of me contracting with some wholesaler, right, that I can replenish, I can make it here. And that was what I used to do before I started door dashing. And then my time got a little bit limited. But all of my bracelets are custom made to size. So when my listings for each bracelet on eBay had multiple sizes, so that the customer could choose what size from 5-inch to 10-inch, whatever. So whatever their size their wrist was, I would make it and get it out the next day.
Next day.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Well, and that was on the mala bracelets because the time I could do that. It would take me 20 minutes, 10, 15, 20, 30, under 30 minutes to do it. So yeah, I could whip one out. If I did my wire wrapped bracelets, they would take a little bit longer. So I'd have to sit and watch a YouTube video for 45 minutes while I made that bracelet. I could get that out. The sterling silver, I've done occasionally. My big seller for Christmas 4 years ago was my stained glass. And window sun catchers that were the chakra colors.
Okay.
And I sold the crap out of those at Christmas one year. So I've thought about if I were to go in and get all my stained glass stuff out and start doing that for Christmas, there's all different things I can do in my 1,700 square foot basement.
Now, do you enjoy doing that, or I mean, is it pleasurable or is it a chore? I mean, why did you stop doing it?
I love doing it.
Okay.
Well,
what they say: if you do something you like, you never work a day in your life again. Because you enjoy doing what you're doing.
Right.
Like some people, that's the problem with reselling. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I want to roll.
Go ahead.
People love the treasure hunt with reselling. But then, like you and I, we know that we get those cash piles if we do the treasure hunt and we don't list things. You have to list things too.
Yeah, like my coach.
If you have a 1,700-foot basement, you might have more cash piles.
My coach bag sitting right over here.
Mm-hmm. Well, I purchased this one. I don't have the what do you call it? The strap, the shoulder strap. But I purchased this. Had to be 9 months ago. Haven't listed it yet.
Okay, well, I'm going to get mine listed sooner than that.
Well, I'm going to list this very shortly because that should be easy to list. Well, I think it would about 5 pictures of that.
Yeah, and well, you see,
and it was reconditioned. The person I bought it from reconditioned it.
Nice. I just recently rearranged my office here, and I did it basically was so that I could do my YouTube videos here, right? But then I got to thinking, my photo area is in the other room. And it was so annoying because here's my computer, here's where I work, here's where I list, and then I have to go in there and I have to photograph and then package. And so then I realized this wall that I'm using for a backdrop, this is the only one in this room that's this color. And I'm like, I never noticed it was white.
Wait.
I'm like, golly gee, I can just photograph clothes right here. So now I'm trying really hard right now to rearrange everything for to get my processes in a better,
But Sharon saw your cat shirt. I didn't. She was thinking she's not wearing a cat shirt, and she saw the cat shirt on the wall. That's what she saw.
And I just got that in the mail yesterday. It was a present from Beth.
Okay. I think
Yeah.
Beth is probably watching us, but she said she would try to pop on, but she typically does dinner this time of the evening, so
Yes,
she may not be able to join us.
Yes. Who is Judgmental Care?
That's Steven.
Steven.
Very nice man, a very knowledgeable reseller.
Did you see his question to me about door dashing?
Yeah, he didn't know what DoorDash was. That's fine.
Oh, I thought maybe he was like.
No, he wasn't joking. He was serious. I mean, you know.
That's what I was doing.
I just downloaded the apps like maybe 2 months ago. I mean, I knew what it was. Because I had you on. We talked about side hustles and things.
I have not done full-time door dashing or grub humming since June 21st.
I don't blame you. I know Pat Dees was doing quite a bit, and he was even more with the current events. And I was like, I don't think I'd want to be doing that. What's going on?
I didn't mind doing it. It was just when everything started reopening, all of the apps had overhired because of the pandemic. And so then we were oversaturated with drivers, and the dummies were taking $3 offers. So, yay, they were making $6 an hour. I'm sorry, I don't work for under.
I know you can't. I mean, your expense for your car alone is that, and your gas, your maintenance, your insurance.
That's what pushed me back to rebuild my eBay business. So
I don't blame you.
At least eBay I can control.
True. Well, yes and no. I wish I could control eBay.
That was why
I wish I knew what Cassini was thinking.
That's why I started.
I know we have all experienced sellers for the most part in the chat, but if you're new to reselling, Cassini is the AI that controls where your listing gets posted on eBay and whether or not typically you get sales or not, because it determines your ranking on the page. Cassini doesn't like me. Well, part of the reason is I don't listen enough, but the other reason is I don't know why she doesn't like me. Cassini doesn't like me. Siri doesn't like me. Alexa doesn't like me. Cortana doesn't like me.
They're hard to please.
Those ladies are hard to please.
I was gonna say it's just like a woman, right?
I always say, Alexa, why don't you understand me?
Don't even get me started on Alexa.
And she's always listening to me too. She's always monitoring what I'm saying.
My daughter and I were sitting upstairs eating the other night, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, Alexa said something. She was replying, and Amanda and I just looked at each other, and I'm like, I told Alexa, shut up.
Now she says, Adam, I hope you had a nice day. Adam, I hope you have a nice evening. It's like,
oh my gosh.
Sure, Alexa. And then I mumble under my breath with a couple curse words.
Well, you can do it in private. Alexa.
Well, I don't want Mr. Bezos hearing what I'm saying to Alexa.
When I started doing DoorDash a year and a half ago, that was what I said then too, was that with eBay, I can control what I list, when I list, how much I list.
Time, exactly.
Right, I can control all that, but I can't control when they're going to buy my stuff.
That's the problem.
So then I started doing DoorDash. So what I'm doing, my whole thing right now is I've been rebuilding my eBay, and I'm going to try doing Uber Eats like Thursday, Friday, Saturday evening.
Okay, like the weekend kind of.
Right. So I got to boost my eBay up and keep it.
So you do that Sunday through Wednesday or Thursday day. And then, like you said, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you can do okay, makes sense.
Yep. Yeah.
Bixby saying she has a
Bixby.
Bixby.
Yeah. Are you Android or Apple?
Oh, well, I used to, get in trouble if I say that. I used to be Android, but I really had a lot of issues with my Android phones. And finally I just said, I'm not spending all this money and then having to buy a new phone every couple of years. So I went to the dark side. I bought an iPhone. I love my iPad. I bought it used. Love it. My iPhone, I like it better than my Android phones, but I'm not in love with it. It has some issues. My iPad, I couldn't be happier.
I've always been Android, but yeah, I ignore that Bixby crap. So yeah, but
however, you and I had discussed this, and we, I see you in other chats and best chat and whatnot, and again, you have to list, like you said, you have to list to sell, which we know. But how have your sales been? Have you started relisting things again?
Yeah, I mean,
Not relisting, listing things, I should say, not relisting.
I'm still really small. The farthest I've gotten is up to 250 items.
Okay.
Um,
That's nothing to complain about. 250. My goal is to get up around 350, 400. I'm nowhere near that right now, but that's my goal.
Yeah, I'd like
to me, that's manageable. I don't have to have 50 bins, and I won't be going crazy trying to find stuff. To me, if I don't know how these people do it. I mean, like Jamie Pace said, occasionally he's in my chat. That's in Casey's one of his moderators in his group. He must have like 8,000 items listed. I don't know how he does it. Now, granted, a lot of it's media, but still, 8,000 items.
That scares me. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I have a hard time remembering what I had for breakfast, much less where I put something. Creative Lori wants to join.
Yeah, no. She said that she did yard work. She says, I can join it as long as I don't have to show my stinky self. Oh, she wants to go. That's fine, Lori. If you want to pop one, just with your avatar, that's fine.
Yeah, we can't smell anything on.
We can't. There's no smell-o-vision.
Yeah,
Lori. I mean, I'm going to make an exception for Lori. Typically, I would say I want you to come on with your your live person, but Lori, you can come on with your avatar. You're more than welcome. Lori is very knowledgeable about jewelry. Maybe she can help you with your jewelry sales.
Oh, I've been selling jewelry for about 8 years now.
Okay.
Yeah. I got all that jewelry from, I did a unboxing of the 15 pieces from ThreadUp.
Yes.
And they're okay. I don't have the passion about selling other people's jewelry. When it's jewelry that I've made, I love photographing it, listing it, and selling it. It's just such a I feel like it's a personal connection when I'm selling it. That somebody is wearing, like, this bracelet is going to South Dakota, or, I mean, I've sold many to England, to think of my jewelry as on somebody's. But now then I look at all the Goodwill jewelry jars, and every time somebody's unbagging a jewelry bag, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what if one of my bracelets is in there?
Oh, no, it's not going to be in there.
I keep waiting to see mine in the Goodwill.
Well, and again, I'm not a psychiatrist and I'm not a psychologist, but from what you're telling me and just your conversation we're having now, you really need to start doing some jewelry and getting that listed, because it seems like you're very passionate about it and you enjoy doing it. I mean, so it wouldn't be so much work. It would be more enjoyment. And like you said, when it sells, you enjoy selling it. So maybe you'd be more passionate. I mean, again, I always say, do as I say, not as I do. So again, if you're passionate about making jewelry, you'll be passionate, and you're passionate about selling your jewelry. Maybe that'll give you that little motivation to help you, get the items again from an outsider.
And it's a replenishable.
Yes, it is.
So
I don't know if it's a replenishable, but ladies and even men like to have multiple pieces of jewelry.
Well, it is, because I have all the supplies to make it. So my eBay listings were up for probably 5 years. Just variation listings, all the different sizes, custom made to order bracelets, and they were up. And so then every time one sold, I would go back and repopulate the quantity to whatever size they bought.
Right.
And it was easy. You could just list it and make it.
You don't look sticky there, Lori.
Thank goodness. You guys would, if there was smell-o-vision, you would say, ew. My goodness.
Lori, do you know Valerie? Valerie, you know Lori? No, you do.
So nice to meet you, because I love jewelry.
Oh yeah, I do too, but I have this thing about, I don't like wearing other people's jewelry.
So Lori, does that make sense to you? I mean, Valerie's very passionate about making her jewelry, and she just told us how much she enjoys when her jewelry sells, and she thinks about the person that purchased it. Do you think that would be good for her, like a motivation for her to help to list things? I mean, that's my impression.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh-oh.
What happened?
Did you push a button? There she is.
I might have clicked you when I was trying to say hello to Anna. I might have hit a button by mistake.
Oh. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay.
With Verizon, I can hear you now.
I can completely understand. I mean, I have a love of jewelry. It doesn't necessarily have to be like my dad's jewelry. I just love stones and I love certain metals more than others. So, I mean, if I don't like it, I really have nothing good to say about it and I don't like to sell it. I'm not a fan of fashion jewelry as much. I prefer gemstones and nice vintage metals like brass and copper. So I
Mm-hmm.
get it. I mean, how can you sell something that you're not in love with?
Well, and the other thing too, you said your father's jewelry. My father was a silversmith, and
Okay.
and, and he made stained glass. He made me when I was like 7 or 8 years old. He made me.
He made you when you were 7 or 8 years old. I think he made you a little like 7 or 8 years before that.
No, he made me. He made me a solid sterling silver ring, and
Gotcha.
this was back when
I'm just trying to be able to have a little fun here. Come
I
on.
know he lived in Clearwater, Florida, and it was the hippie days,
Right.
back in the '70s, and he had a silversmith shop in Clearwater, and I would go visit him, and he made me a ring, he made me a stained glass window, so that's my passion is ties to my father who passed away in 2007.
Oh, I'm
That's when
sorry.
I
Yeah.
just started enjoying baseball, and Clearwater is the home of the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yep.
And that's when I started with
Yeah.
Darren Johnson and all those guys back in the early 70s.
So, Lori, was your father a silversmith? A
No,
jeweler?
well, he's he's doing it, but
Mhm.
and he's made some really intricate rings, like he'll make wax molds, he'll carve some wax molds and pour a ring into it, and one of them, I love it. He gave it to my mom before she passed away. It was the frog, and it was kind of holding the emerald, and the ring, and then it had emerald eyes. So I mean, he does really intricate work, but he doesn't normally make a bunch of silver pieces.
Right.
As he's actually a gemologist, so he's really into stones, and that's how I fell in love with stones. And I would love to get my gemology degree one day, once the whole COVID thing is over, and but yeah, I would not call him a silversmith, but he has made gorgeous jewelry, and I have to give him kudos because whatever he puts his mind to, he will accomplish, and he has made some beautiful jewelry, but he doesn't make jewelry like silver or Sandy does on a regular basis,
Right.
so nothing like that, but um, I know he would probably want to. It's just, time for everything, and his love of stones. Like right now, we're going gold panning and into mines because we think we're going to hit it rich with the gold, of course, and be millionaires in a month or two. So,
Oh,
In a
that's
month or
how,
but
two. Okay.
that's how I feel every time I open a thread-up box.
yeah, you never know. You never know. People, I've bought some things and I thought, I wonder. No, I don't think that is. And then I'll get it and I'm like, oh dear, this is like a real whatever. And I've sold something recently and I split it with the person because I said you didn't know what you had, and I just don't feel right in taking all the profits from it. But um, yeah, we're just kind of simple people. We like gemstones. We like to go gold panning,
Mhm.
and
There's just
you know, I
there's no money in that. Like I love the intricate artwork, but I need to be able to sell, so that I don't have to go back to DoorDash full time.
yeah. Well, I mean, I haven't been working since October because I'm a home stager, and I have basically, so October to January I don't work, but then the whole COVID thing hit, and I thought, wow, why aren't any houses going up for sale?
Mm,
So I really had to hustle on the jewelry. So I've been surviving off of the sales of my jewelry, plus I have tenants in my two houses. But I mean, you know, um, there's no money coming in other than jewelry and tenants. And so I hustle, and I took
Right.
a little break in July, and you feel it. I feel like if you're going to do this full time, you got to be so consistent. And I just took the month off basically. And, I'm feeling it now. I don't really like to sell on eBay anymore. So I usually just do lives or videos. But I might go back to eBay. It just takes so long to list everything, and I want immediate gratification.
Don't we all?
Immediate money.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like Valerie and I were discussing before. I mean, you can list, and again, we all know you have to feed the beast. You have to list on eBay to get up in the sales rankings and the listing rankings. But what's the ideal items to sell? I mean, it says, the Bolos, be on the lookout for. But that changes. I mean, if you check, I mean, like you were talking about those Madewell. Maybe Madewell was hot now, but maybe 3 months or 6 months from now, it's not hot. Maybe something else is popular. I hate listing clothing, and to me, it's like I don't know fashion, so it's like I'll say, well, okay, this, that, and the other thing are hot now, and I'll list them. It's like then you talk to like a clothing seller that's really like up with the current fashions. It's like, oh, that hasn't sold for like a year. It's like, well, I didn't know. Back in the day when I listed it, it sold. It's like I didn't know.
Yeah, but here's the great thing about things that are out of fashion. There are still people like myself who I will buy things out of fashion because it's for comfort or it's just practical. So for me, I'll go on eBay and I'll look at a certain pair of jeans or a certain blouse that I loved or a blazer and see if anyone has listed it. I really don't care. I mean, if it suits my body type and it's comfortable, I'll go looking for it, whether it's in style or not. I mean, I feel like, I'm not in Hollywood. So therefore, I will dress how I feel comfortable. You know what I mean?
Do you know what do you see Steven's comment, Lori? I'm not exactly sure what a diffraction grating is. Small handheld diffraction grating.
Oh my God. Is he calling me a fashion granny?
No, he said a few years back I was watching a rockhound gemologist that was showing how to use a small handheld diffraction grating, better range than desktop lab instrument.
Okay.
I guess that's kind of technical. I don't know what that is, but apparently.
I think the diffraction has something to do with the gem.
Okay.
Let me go back to my computer and I can look up the comment. Sorry.
Okay, that's no problem.
I have 2 tenants leaving around this time, and the dog has to bark at both of them, and I was trying to hide from them.
That's your job.
Okay,
What's
let's
Michelle
see.
saying? She saw Victoria had 15 garbage bags full of clothes for $15. She was so happy. It would be my nightmare. Yeah, Michelle, right?
Wow, what a steal. Yeah.
15 garbage bags of clothes. Oh, my God.
See, I don't have any thrift stores around me like that.
Well, like you said, your Goodwill is very overpriced.
Very overpriced, and yeah, they're just.
So when you go sourcing, you don't like selling clothing. What do you typically look for then, Valerie?
I do well, I haven't been doing local sourcing.
Okay, so you've been sourcing online, like you said, with the thread up and
sourcing online, thread up. Yeah, no, I can't remember. I went to the Goodwill one. No, I don't think I haven't been to the Goodwill here since the pandemic.
Okay.
There's another person on YouTube, Deb Ladida, that lives near me, and she came up here and she went to one of them. She said it was empty. It was like a ghost town. So I'm like, I'm not even going to bother. So I did go. I drove down to Arkansas a month ago. I did get some things from there, but it was my first trip to the Goodwill bins. I was gonna make a video on it, and I never edited it together. So,
you actually filmed at the bins because they kind of frown upon that.
No, not inside.
Oh, not inside. Okay.
Yeah, but it was a little overwhelming for me, and I'd never been before, and I wasn't aggressive enough, and I didn't get much good stuff there. So then I went.
It's difficult. Yeah, there were.
I went to a retail Goodwill, and their prices down there were better than the prices here.
Right.
So I bought a few things there that I've actually already sold almost all of them. So everything that I got in Arkansas, I've already sold.
Oh, really? That's good. You got to list it. You got to list it to sell it.
Yeah, it's a 2-hour drive down there, though, for me. Hour and 45 minutes.
I didn't know you were even near Arkansas.
Yeah, I'm in Southwest Missouri.
Okay.
So it was closer to drive down there than it was to go to Kansas City, and I have no interest in going to St. Louis.
I was going to ask you, how close are you to St. Louis? Pretty far?
3.5 hours.
Ooh, okay. So that's a 7-hour round trip. Yeah.
And it's about 2 to 2.5 hours to Kansas City.
That's 5 hours. Yeah.
Right. And then to go down to Arkansas was like an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours.
Okay.
I'm actually thinking I'm doing some top secret retail arbitrage.
Okay. Keep it top secret. You definitely want to keep that secret, because I've heard situations where people let the cat out of the bag, so to speak, and then people jump on it, and then you're out of luck.
I almost went today, but I decided I'm going to wait until Friday, and it's an hour and 45-minute drive another way. I have to go southeast. But I mean, that's what I have to deal with here. So that's why, honestly, sourcing
online. Yep.
I get a box of 10 pounds of men's clothes for, I know it's $5 a pound, but at the bins it'd be, $1.50 or $2. But I don't have to drive, 2 hours.
Right.
Pay gas, wear and tear on my truck, and ships to my door, and I get to do a YouTube video and have fun and laugh, and then list it and sell it.
Yeah, that sounds good. Anytime you don't have to go out and do something, I'm all for it. Because I'm actually a germaphobe, so this whole COVID thing freaks me out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even when I get groceries, like I'll order from Walmart, or if I get something from Amazon or wherever, I will not touch it for at least 2 days. And then I'll open it. I mean, I wear gloves, I'll Lysol it, wear gloves, opening it. And I mean, I don't want to go in a store. I really don't, because if I get sick, I can potentially give it to my dad, who's elderly, and I wouldn't, I would feel terrible about that. He would not survive this. Definitely not. So I get it.
I use the Walmart pickup.
Oh, me too. I do like that, but
That's very popular. Sharon uses that as well.
Yeah, it's great. It's just the only time is I feel like some of the times the people who are doing your shopping for you, if they're not sure of what it is, they just won't get it for you. And it's clearly
okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of times when stuff I was trying to order my big plastic bins that I use, clear plastic. I get them at Walmart, and I must have ordered them every time, twice a week for 3 weeks. And they said they're out of stock, but on the website, it shows they're in stock at that store. So then I tried one of our other local Walmarts because it said they're in stock there, and nope, that didn't come. It's like they're just too lazy, and honestly, I'm too lazy to get off my butt and go in the store and go back. So I just kept ordering them until they finally showed up in my order one time. But they're lazy, yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm sorry, Lori, go ahead.
Well, it worked the opposite way too. In my benefit one time, I really needed bubble wrap, and I'm not a fan of the bubble wrap it's called like Duck or something, whatever, at Walmart. But I like the one better at Target. It's thicker, but I really needed it. I didn't want to go to Target, and I already had an order with Walmart, so I put in an order, and the gal, bless her heart, the smaller bundle was not available, or she couldn't find it, so she gave me the larger bundle, and it was like it saved me $15. I was like, woohoo! I didn't care. I didn't say a word. I'm like, you know what? I'm taking it. So
we're all doing whatever we have to do right now.
Two things. I said earlier when I teased this video for the people that are watching the replay, I was going to drop a little nugget during the show to save you guys some money. Okay, and some of you may be aware of this. I'm assuming the majority of you are not aware of this. eBay is running a special coupon. If you spend $25.01 or more, there's a $25 coupon.
I
Steven's joining us. Let me add him to stream. Hello, Steven.
Hello, is my mic working?
Yes, you're fine. Yes, you are.
I can turn the other computer off.
Yeah, that would help. Yeah, you also have the feedback. So let me just
Steven.
quickly introduce you to Lori and to Valerie, and I want to get back to what I was saying. Okay, so Steven, Valerie, Lori, Steven, Valerie, Steven, Lori. Okay. Anyway, I told you guys I teased this at the beginning. So I personally try to buy things from eBay, try to support the platform that I sell on. I also buy from Amazon. There's actually two things I want to talk about. There is a coupon, and that expires September 10th. So you have to use this coupon by September 10th. You save $25. You only have to spend $25.01, and you can use the $25 coupon. The coupon is in caps. Happy, HAPPY 25.
Isn't it only one item though?
That's what I'm trying to figure out, because I was going to buy a DVD. I was going to buy something for YouTube, and I said, well, I have so much stuff. I want to buy some big stuff for YouTube, and I was going to buy something that was like $21. And I'm like, well, I want to buy this DVD. It's like $9. Can I add something? So I was going to add them both together and then use the coupon. And if the coupon didn't work, then I was going to go back and back it out and then buy something that was $25. I did not specifically receive this, but I'm very generous. I'm kidding, but I am generous. So I'm passing this along to you guys. And from what I understand, it works for everyone.
I got the message for it. I'm trying to think if it was.
It's been posted on Instagram. It's been posted in some of the coupon groups. Apparently they sent emails to various resellers. I did not receive it. You got it?
Just for you.
I didn't receive that. Yep.
I don't think I did either.
But so apparently it works for everyone.
I know. So it's not just for me. They lied.
Well, you got notice of it. I didn't get notice of it. I just monitor the chats and the things. So that's how I found out about it. So I figured I appreciate all you guys, watching my channel and being here for me. So I figured let me pass along to you guys.
I was going to use it to buy eBay shipping supplies.
You could do that too. I have so much. And that's the other thing while I'm thinking about it. Casey had posted that earlier today. This is the last month. September is the third quarter.
Right.
So you have to you have to use your coupon by the end of this month if you haven't used your eBay store supply coupon yet. So that was the other thing. I'm sorry, again.
4 selling accounts.
4?
Steven has 4 selling accounts.
4.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, I start a fresh one whenever I think I'm going to do a niche area.
Okay.
And 3 of them aren't really in use, but I keep 1 or 2 items on there, just cheapies to keep a little bit of traffic.
Right.
And recently I canceled my store, so I'm going to use the 4 that I have, and eBay keeps pestering me to make my buying account another selling account.
Okay.
So that's 1,000 items, 200 units per piece, and I never have to think about store fees. Now, there will be a point where I may put a store on a different account, which I don't have yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm seriously looking at specializing in footwear.
Okay.
Oh.
Which should have a different name.
So
I don't want to say it.
Okay, don't say it.
If the name isn't taken, I want to keep it.
No, don't say it.
Keep it secret.
So you're getting 800 free insertions without a store?
I get 200 per account.
Without a store?
Keeps making me... Right.
Wow.
And eBay keeps making me special extra offers to convert my buying account to a selling account.
That's tremendous.
So
I used to get 50 and you're getting 200. Wow.
I have heard you can get up to 7.
I had never heard that, but I was getting 50.
Don't you have to have all different email addresses and PayPal accounts?
I use it. Okay. Let's see. What is the number? Is it 8 email addresses on PayPal for one PayPal account? You had to, and I don't know if it's still true, give eBay a different PayPal email for each account.
Okay. Even though it's all tied in the same PayPal. How about that?
That's the only limitation I know.
It's a way to work the system. I had never heard that before. I guess I was getting 50.
That's
Well,
too,
I mean,
too much complicated.
I don't think things like this. I don't know if you can see those. Those are for nice smelling stuff.
Okay.
I don't think they belong in with telephone supplies.
What were they, like bath bombs?
They're like for potpourri in your
Potpourri. Okay.
dresser drawers
Okay.
or stuff like this.
Gotcha.
I don't think that belongs with a cell phone, and I don't think it belongs with a pair of shoes. It probably would belong with, be careful, stuff like this. What is this? This is another piece of Linux I got from a church sale.
J Marie says she gets 50 listings, 50 more listings with the store to store. Yeah, but Steve is getting 200 listings per account, and he doesn't even have a store. And
I had a store,
right?
And I just canceled it at starting on the 1st of September.
Okay.
Now I may change that and put one back on one of the accounts. The other thing I do is before I think I'm going to sell an account,
right,
I make it my buying account for a while. So I want to get 20, 40, maybe 100 just random feedbacks.
Okay.
And then I'll start selling some really cheap items. And then it's after that, plus 30 or 60 days, it's conditioned for most sales. I wouldn't sell $1,000.
Then you might have 50 or 60, positive feedback, and then you can start selling things, right?
All you need is 10 plus a feedback score, and to avoid getting negatives, to do very well.
Okay.
And that's because you'll be rated on your stars when you get 10.
I wasn't aware of that. Okay.
At least that's the rule that's always worked before.
Okay. I wasn't aware of that. I know eBay's always changing things.
I do want to say something about just plain having at least a second account.
Absolutely.
Many of the suspensions you hear about, Veros, trademark issues, all that stuff, many of those are on an account by account basis. They're not against you as a person. Okay? But once you have a suspension, you cannot start another eBay account for selling. Get another eBay account, condition it to the point where it can handle 10 days of your listing, whatever that means to you. So if you would ever be suspended and you're dependent upon eBay, you're going to be able to continue to get that 10 days of listing on the other account.
Okay, so you're saying using a couple different emails, having like say buyer accounts.
So if you list 10 items a day,
right,
that means you want an account that can list 100 items times whatever value item you want to sell.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Okay.
It's not a big number. It's just have something.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was based on your email account. I thought it was based on the person, the seller.
Yeah.
If you sell counterfeits, if you do end runarounds and contact people through eBay to sell off
legally
eBay,
contact them, right?
Those are things that can get you suspended and eventually get
all
you
your Gotcha. Okay.
as a person. And
but if you do like a
Vero
Vero and you get a suspension, that's different.
So yeah, and especially if you sell different types of goods.
Right.
So, an example this isn't going to be one, but if this was something I'm sorry, the light's just too bright, but there, that's better.
Yep.
If you sold this and this was food related,
mm-hmm.
and later they determined this was a lead glaze and they had been recalled, I could be suspended for 7 to 10 days.
Okay.
And you'd have no way of telling, or they think it's been recalled.
Okay. So that makes sense. Okay. So, I mean, and what's it if you have a separate email address to have just a separate buyer's account, right? To have 2 or 3.
Yeah. And the strange part is, I mean, I'm not going to do this if I start another one because I'll take the journey and show people what I do.
Right.
But after you open an account, you can request it be linked to your existing account and you can get extra listings right away.
Even though you don't have a store.
You don't need a store.
Okay.
Your selling limits are not determined if you have a store or not.
Okay.
Sometimes people will say, I'm going to take a larger store so I can sell. And then I find out, no. eBay isn't going to let you do that many right out of the door.
Well, yeah, your seller limit is, your dollar amount is different, but I mean, your amount of listings increases when you have a larger store.
Well, yes and no. You may have listings that won't cost you anything, but you may not be able to use them.
If you're already maxed out your dollar amount. Right.
Just the number of items you're allowed.
Number of items.
Okay. I'll give you a great example of someone who does not use a store.
Okay.
Craigslist Hunter.
He doesn't have a store?
He doesn't use a store.
Wow, that's a shock to me. I didn't realize that. Okay.
So that's neither few items or small numbers.
He probably has a couple thousand listings, I would assume, right?
I don't know how many he has.
Okay. How do you just?
I'm pretty sure he does at least $30,000 plus sales a month.
And he's
probably higher.
And I'm not chastising you, but you're positive he does not have a store.
He said that many times. He said he won't tell the reason on YouTube, but
okay. I had never heard that. I do follow him.
If you called him and asked him, he'd tell you why.
Okay, I had never heard that, and I do follow him. I mean, thank you for your word. Wow. Okay, that's shocking.
He had some. I think he had a storage chest. Like the what's the word I want? The cedar chest.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That lid that goes down, and he sold one. But it showed it with everything in place with a catch.
Right.
That got him a suspension. I think it was, I don't know if it was a 7-day or something.
Yeah, I've heard when he's got suspensions, yeah.
Somewhere around that time, eBay also gave him concierge service, even though he did not have a store.
Well, that's weird.
Because he was such a big force.
Right.
Yeah.
You've heard him say that many times, Michelle, that he doesn't have a store. Okay.
I'm sorry, who is it?
Pete,
Craigslist
Hunter. Pete. He has a buy and sell
a brick and mortar.
Yeah, brick and mortar
right.
shop.
Now
like a pawn shop, but it's not a pawn shop. It's not, they don't do pawn.
It's trading post.
It's like a trading post. Yes, thank you. But it's like a pawn shop that doesn't do pawn.
Now that is for the
outside of
eBay
Chicago.
He has associated with the store. He has another eBay selling account that's just his. So I know he has at least that.
Okay. That's wow. I wasn't aware of that. Okay. So hey, you got to work the system. If you get 800 listings and you don't have to pay insertion fees, that's tremendous.
Well,
yeah.
I tend not to, I think on my main account I only have like 91 items listed.
Right.
Because I don't push for numbers of listings.
You're doing for dollar volumes.
Well, I go for things that work for me.
Right.
Now I'll tell you another trick. And I even have the prop. They just happen to be stored near I'm standing.
Well, let me put you on full screen if you got a prop here.
You can see it that way. Anybody remember these things?
Oh yeah.
Hey, is that
I was terrible with those. The reason I got through that class is I had friends in that class.
Now, about 8 years ago, I guess, I was going to dump closed boxes of these things in the trash dumpster. I had them in my hand. I was carrying just about to let go of them. And a little voice went through my head. This was the voice I'd listened to, Rick from Pawn Stars.
Okay.
And he said, in his book, he said, anytime you have a whole lot of nothing, you probably have something.
Okay.
So I stopped and brought them back.
Everybody write that down. That's interesting.
Say it again.
Every time you have a whole lot of nothing, the same things,
you probably have something.
You probably have something.
How about that? That's interesting.
So if you get 10 paper clips, it's hard to sell them. If you get 10 million, you're going to make good money. So I used to have a lot of Fortran and other ones. These are just the plain ones.
Right.
And this is one of the throwaway items that I use.
Okay.
I sell them for about $1 or so each. and I charge a little bit of shipping. They just
Wow.
go in an envelope, a little bit of cardboard around them, one first class stamp. Now I have thousands. I don't have
So-
10,000 anymore, but I've got thousands.
Okay. So people buy
Well,
them
I
for a
can't-
buck a piece plus shipping.
Absolutely. Well, I don't
Okay.
charge a lot
You
of
don't
shipping.
charge
It's like
shipping.
50
Okay.
cents or a buck. I think I charge a buck and then a quarter per piece or something.
Okay. Okay.
And if they buy a lot, then it goes out.
So what
First
do you make
class.
like 50, 60 cents when it's all said and done? We don't have no cost.
I pay for a stamp.
Right.
Basically, one card goes out, it's $2 in.
Okay.
Two cards go out, it's $2.25 in. Sometimes people buy 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, 15,
Okay.
whatever. But here's the beautiful part. I can take this with a new account or take one of the other variations, and I can say, okay, I'm going to list a couple to start. I'll even sell them at a loss. I'm willing to condition an account and pay 50 cents or a buck on an item for the first few sales, make people happy. But as soon as I get increased limits, and there's a difference between a listing for the purposes of being charged and a difference between a listing and your account limits. So if I have 500 listings and I want more, which is always a good idea to have a bunch, I will take and I'll put put quantity 400 of these. If I want to tie it up, I'll put quantity 1,000. I can put quantity 2,000, not a problem. So that brings up both your item count and your dollar value. And then you can always reduce that so you have room for the other products you want to sell.
Okay.
It's a quick way to get your listing up, even if you're not going to spend a lot of time with the new account.
That's a great tip. That's funny because Michelle knows that Pete doesn't have an account. I never heard that before. And like I said, he does. How much does he do by him?
I know he's doing at least 30, 35,000. I think he's doing a lot more than that.
I think it's quite a bit more than that. Yeah, I'm surprised. Okay.
Well, this is from numbers I remember him saying.
Right.
And every once in a while, I go to his YouTube. I find out what's new from the last one I saw. I'll grab them and I'll put them on high-speed play.
Okay. Here you go. Play it on double time, and when you find something interesting, you just slow it down and listen to it, or watch it.
What I actually do is I download it so I can back it up, change it, move it around, and I'm not dependent upon YouTube's inferior player.
Okay. Well, you're a techie guy, so.
Well, it's easy. So, listen, guys, I don't want to monopolize this conversation, but I didn't think I had anything to say.
Apparently you did. I was going to ask you, you had any more gems to drop on us? Because that was interesting.
Well,
you have any other tips that we might not be aware of?
I'm going to show you one item. These
Any
items
Bolos that you can share? Besides your...
These items are pretty much over.
Okay.
And these I used to get from China.
Okay.
Like 2, 4, 5, 10,000 a piece. Now I have to buy 30 to get the same price I used to get because of the change of shipping and duties and so forth. And I don't want to buy 30,000.
Right.
But oops, here we go.
Yeah, it's a mirror image on StreamYard.
These are little pieces of plastic. Each one of these,
right,
that they just fit around the nano-sized SIM card, so they fit into larger phones.
Okay.
And this is an item that I would ship. It when I sell phones that use a larger SIM card, larger than nano. So if I sell a phone, I'm going to enclose one of these. Makes your customers very happy.
Okay.
Avoids those returns. I pay this particular ones, they cost me about 7 cents a package.
So you get positive feedback and it costs you 7 cents.
Yeah, and I used to sell those things.
Okay,
for a few bucks a piece.
A few bucks a piece. Okay.
The very first ones, I got the nerve to buy 1,000 lot, and trust me, they don't get this price anymore.
Okay.
But I saw somebody selling 100 of them for $279 on eBay.
Okay.
And I could buy them at the time for 18 to 25 cents. It was around 18.
Right.
So just throwaway items.
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, I know some people are talking about getting into wholesale and buying different things, and and I don't know how difficult it is now with the Chinese difficulties with China and importing things, but some people do very well, but other people, it's like it's a chore. You have to build the market. So you found items that you feel are profitable, and you just how do you build the demand for them? You just figured you just assume there was a demand, or you knew there was a demand.
I have a handful of. I may decide to buy some more, and this is the very first time I've ever told anyone what that item is, because I've made tens of thousands of dollars from them. But I have a handful of cell phone stores that order, repeat
Okay.
from me. Okay. Every 4 to 6 months, they order another few hundred sets.
Gotcha. Okay.
And the margin on that is not what it used to be.
Okay.
So now I make $7 or $8. I used to make $30.
Because your cost went up.
Mm-hmm.
No, the price came down.
Oh, the price came down. Okay.
The price came
way
down.
The market kind of oversaturated, and then they bottomed out.
On cell phones, the cell phone companies, that supply the service, many of them supply nano-sized SIM cards now. Okay, most of the phones are nano-sized.
Gotcha.
So there's not as much need for size conversion.
Gotcha. Steve, you don't do YouTube videos, right?
Not very much.
Okay. Well, you're more than welcome to come on my show, because you're dropping some real good nuggets. So you're more than welcome to come whenever you want.
I'm probably going to put
America,
some more.
I should ask you if you had your own YouTube channel. That's why I'm asking you.
I do, but I don't have much in the way of
content. Okay. You're more than welcome to whatever you want.
The most important ones on there, even though they're old and out of date, they're 2 short ones, the oldest ones, that are on shipping and how to use how not to ship. I had spent about $26, $27 on a couple of hundred, and this is a good thing to look for.
Okay.
Old postcards. Now, when you get back in the early 1900s, a little earlier, that's how people sent Christmas cards. They weren't in an envelope; they were postcards. And those tend to go.
Christmas cards were always a postcard. They weren't folded card in an envelope.
They were literally postcards, most of them.
Okay.
And
learn something new again.
So I knew nothing about these.
Right.
And I said, I'm going to learn something.
Ephemera, correct? Is that correct? I actually pronounced it correct, right? Ephemera?
I just call them postcards.
Well, ephemera, that's what people call all that collectible little jiggly stuff. Postcards.
That
published little books and things and pamphlets. And
you might find postcards in ephemera,
right?
But postcards are a category by themselves.
Gotcha.
If you go,
but it's part of the overall category is ephemera, correct?
Here's something to look for. If you go to a house or a yard sale or somebody going to move and grandma's been there,
right?
You want the bottom right desk drawer.
Okay.
Contents are back.
All right, I want to hear this one.
You're going to go in a trash bag. You're going to find plane, bus, train tickets, concerts, wedding announcements,
ephemera,
interesting cards, and you're probably going to be able to buy it for $3 or just buy something else. I'll just get it away. We're going to throw that out.
Steven dropping these nuggets, man. Bottom right, gotcha.
I'm glad you think it's something.
Hey, so next time I go to a state sale, I'll go to that bottom right desk drawer.
Well, I got to tell you what I learned on the postcards. That I spent some $20-some buying 100, almost 200, and it took me forever to begin to learn something. And there were these ones that had stamps on. I think they were 1-cent stamps. And with a postcard, what makes it worth something? It's the subject matter, one. Some of them really are photos, like taken, done on a photo lab. Those are called picture postcards. They really are photo cards. Okay. Then there are all sorts of other ways of printing them. Then you've got the city that it's there. Is it something interesting? if you like want to take a picture of Grand Central Station in Niagara Falls or tourist traps, they probably don't get you much.
Okay.
Then you've got who it's from and who it's to. Now you've got the photographer or the maker of the postcard, the exact subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
You see, there are many ways you can score on these. And then you have the stump. Some people say stamp.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Stump. I was like, what?
And I had these 1 cent stamps. I think I had 23 of them that I just couldn't understand. They were talking about things printed on gray paper and things printed on blue paper. Well, I'm looking for something around here. Okay. It's not blue like this type of blue.
Okay.
It's a hint of blue. And I didn't know that. I'm not a stamp collector.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a heck of a time figuring out, do I have the blue ones or not? The difference is a couple pennies versus like $25 a piece. Even used on the postcards doesn't detract. Don't take them off. Leave them alone. Don't mess with them.
Okay.
And the way I was able to do it is I took a picture.
You didn't call it porn stars, do you? Porn stars.
In a stamp, you have that little perimeter around them, like where the perforations might be. So I took just that little area and I multiplied it, cut and paste. Okay. I put it in my image processing program. And then I used a mixer, literally mixed it all in evenly. And then I found out that orange is the complementary color for this type of blue. And there's a little trick. So what I did was I made a smaller square. Here we go. I made a smaller square of the blue, or what I thought might be blue, and put it on a bigger area that was orange.
Okay.
And if it looks really blue when you do that, you've got blue.
Got the right one. Okay.
And
That's
it was.
true. Yeah, that's very true.
So when you deal with something new like that, you may not make much money. You may not make much money the first time you go through it, but now you've learned so many things. And just that little stamp thing, I'll give you an idea. 23 times 25.
That's pre-19 what? 1901?
Those I think were 1902s.
1902s.
1901, 1902.
Okay.
And sometimes when you try
Prior
to differentiate,
to that, or just those particular years.
Well, it was this particular stamp with that particular background.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right. So, it's like there used to be a rare stamp. It was an airplane flying upside down.
Right.
Then they reprinted them. Now you have to have the right year.
Mm-hmm.
Postcard. Give me a second. I'm going to grab something.
So that we never knew you were going to learn about ephemera. I love to say that because I can actually pronounce it now. I could never say it before.
I know, huh?
I used to
How you
say
spell it,
or
though,
something
Adam?
like the prescription drug
This is about
ephemera.
half the stack I have. These
Okay.
are postcards.
Right.
In envelopes. You might find somebody that's a train, a car, a flower enthusiast, or some other thing that will have these
Right.
things. I'll just pop these out here. Some of these. Okay. That's one. These are all on a theme. These are cars. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that stack, value of these, $1 to $10 a piece. Okay, so there's like 9 or 10 there.
Okay.
That's $100. All right, how much is that worth? $500, $1,000?
Tell me. I don't know.
If
You're
you've
an
got
expert.
the right subject matter, that's what you're talking if you're going to do the work.
Wow. For that, and that doesn't take up much space, obviously.
A lot of these are duplicates and triplicates.
You don't need a huge
This is
basement like Barry's to store that.
Well, so, this is stuff my dad had that I don't really want to process.
No, that's
but
great.
I
I mean,
should
because that's what's nice about some of these things. Like ephemera or whatever. It doesn't take up much space. It's typically long tail though, right?
Well, yes. Now,
That
if
does
I
take
were
up
to
so little space though. So
if I were to
it's easy
list
to list.
or I were to list old sports cards and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
that's the reason I would reopen a store right away.
Okay.
Because now I might have, I might be able to use all the listings they'll give me, and I might want 2 or 3 stores.
Okay.
I have like 800 pounds of old sports cards.
Gotcha.
And I just cannot get myself to do anything with them.
Well, that's why I told Valerie she needs to start listing her jewelry because she enjoys selling jewelry. So get listing that jewelry because you don't want to list those sports cards. I don't blame
you. Well, a lot of them aren't worth very much, and they, quite frankly, they weren't worth listing if you're going to pay for listings.
Right.
In which case, you sell them by the pound or by the big box.
Or the lot, right. Bulk
whatever
lot.
fits in a regional A or B box.
Like sure. Mm-hmm.
And then eBay makes life difficult because they say you have to show exactly what's in it and everything that's in it. And you just can't do that if you're putting 1,000 or 2,000
no, you can't.
in a box.
Now, did you say you also did I'm sorry. Did you say you also did a pirate ship video? Is that what you were saying earlier?
I did a little video on how to ship and not to ship.
But I think I heard you say pirate ship. Okay.
And basically, it's making things that are concise, making yourself eligible for cubic rate when you can go as a. Now, cubic rate, everybody knows, is under half a cubic foot. So 12 by 12 by 12 is twice too big.
Oh boy!
Just keep that. So 12 by 12 by 6 in whatever rectangular shape is okay.
So where do they get with the pirate ship? They get the 18 by 18. What is that considered?
So the 18 by 18, and I don't have an 18 by 18
because that's supposedly the magic number. The bag itself can't be larger than 18 by 18.
Qualify.
Correct.
Cubic shipping.
Cubic shipping, right.
If you get ones that are a little smaller, it might be a little cheaper. Because 18 by 18 goes at the half a cubic foot rate class.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that's the cubic shipping.
That's the that's the key.
Now they really call that a soft-sided soft pack.
Right.
So if you put a box in there and it's rigid, it's probably not qualifying. But if it has a little bit of slop tolerance or a little bit of soft side, it probably qualifies.
Right. A lot of people. I'm sorry, Lori. Go ahead.
I have a question. Okay, so
yes.
I heard from a couple of YouTubers about pirate ship. I just started with pirate ship about a month ago. I've been wanting to try it, and it does save you money. However, then I hear what I've been told from other YouTubers is not legal, and now I'm freaking out because I've sent a few of them the way that they said it's not legal. It's a federal offense. They say that.
I gotta grab some. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, or a felony, maybe a felony. I don't know. I don't know which is worse, federal or felony. But I've never been in trouble, so I'm still freaking out. Anyway,
let me tell you, my understanding of that stuff. If you make mistakes in postage, pretty much, if the post office figures it out, they're either going to charge you or charge where you're sending it. But these people who all the time, everything's media mail, they run the risk of being seriously charged with a felony.
And they should be.
For mail fraud.
They should be.
Okay, what about a package? So I'm using cubic rates, and I have a package that I've wrapped with, I was told you wrap it with a garbage bag and put tape around it. Is that legal?
Yes, it feels weird, and it should have a little give to the side somewhere, and many of them do not. If you listen to Lonnie from Garage or Shed Flips, perfect example right there.
Yeah. Okay.
Say
I think that's 2 box like, but other people don't think it's 2 box like.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, mine is black. It's a black garbage bag. But
I don't
I've
think it
sent out
matters.
lighter bags.
Go ahead.
Is it okay? I mean, am I going to get in trouble?
Not for that. You're following the rules.
Mm-hmm.
It
Because
feels
it
weird.
says box in a bag. Yes, it does. I mean, my Catholic guilt is killing me here.
If you have
So
any concerns,
Say 2
use
Hail
a,
Marys and 3 Our Fathers, Lori. You'll be okay.
use a padded bag if you have any concerns.
What's that? If I have any concerns, what?
Use a padded bag. There, Michelle saying a bag has to look like a bag, not like a box.
Right. See, that looks like a box. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not to my taste, but some people do it, and
They get away with it. Yeah. And this actually was shipped. This actually, I should open this. There's another thing I got like 2 months ago. This was actually shipped at the post office. This was purchased and shipped at the post office. And they didn't say anything.
What's the rate? What's the weight maximum with pirate ship? Is that 15 or 20 pounds? I think it's 20 pounds. I'm not sure.
20 pounds is correct. Yeah.
For what?
It is 20 pounds. For the cubic shipping.
Anything under cubic shipping.
It's 20 pounds or less. Now, Jay Marie's asking about what would you put in for the measurements? You put in what the bag is before you fold it up. You can cut it to size. You can cut it to size. So if you was 18, you can cut it down to something smaller if it'll fit in.
If you have a heat sealer, an impulse sealer, and I would suggest you don't want one that has a very narrow edge, that has like a double edge or more than an eighth of an inch. You can take that bag, put it in the heat sealer. I have one that seals and cuts.
Well, you have a heat sealer. I would say probably 99.9% of people don't have heat sealers. So,
well, I lucked out years ago.
No, I'm just saying. I'm trying to talk for the masses. Is what I'm saying. I mean,
you can.
Most people just use the clear packing tape.
When you heat plastic with like a wire, what this thing has is it has a heater wire on the arm. And over the heater wire, there's a piece of silicone Teflon tape. And on the base, there's something it mates with it that's also covered with tape. You bring it down, the heat transfers, it melts the plastic. You pull your plastic away, and it's melted together.
You see Jeremy's comment?
Yeah, I do.
For $5, well, I had no idea if they work.
You always get what you pay for.
There you go, right?
And if you're doing with really little bags, I'm sure it's going to work well. But I hate to.
Here's my thing. Am I going to get arrested?
You're not getting arrested.
No.
I got bail money.
If you really, in good faith, try to follow the rules and you don't blatantly break them, you're going to find out because you're going to get pieces where they charge you extra.
You get charged extra postage, or the customer gets charged, or they return it to you. Right.
Okay.
They're not going to charge you with a felony or mail fraud.
Now, something I do, because when we have sellers who intentionally do bad things,
using priority,
it not only damages
supplies illegally for padding and packing and shipping and for non-priority packages,
but it reduces the money you can get for an item.
True.
So if I compete with somebody that's I don't know, selling this and shipping it through media mail,
right?
Say it's standard widget,
and believe me, it happens.
And they're paying $3, and I have to spend $8 to ship it.
Exactly.
I can't compete as a good seller.
Yep.
So what happens? My price. I think this is a piece of lab gear actually. But so if this thing weighs a couple pounds, I have to charge that. So I can't sell that. So my price falls. Okay. And it damages us all. So when I get something that's blatantly wrongly shipped, I had one a while back that I paid extra for priority. It came in media mail.
Wow. That's really messed up.
Oh,
So that's an eBay deception.
yeah.
It's an item not as described because the thing you're buying is the item and everything in the listing, which
Exactly.
includes shipping. You paid.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, so I dropped the ball on pressuring eBay on that. I wanted at least the partial refund of shipping.
Absolutely.
And I did really need that item, so I didn't send it back. It
And
was
you needed
actually,
it probably quickly. You paid for priority, and they shipped it out economy media mail, which probably took you 3 times.
well, they sent it out on a service that's rougher on handling, doesn't have the same quickness of shipping.
Exactly.
Now, I'll tell you a secret: media mail on small weights does quite quickly. So if you're sending a smaller book,
right,
it's going to be
like a little paperback book or something, right?
You're selling something like this, a couple pounds.
Right.
It's going to be fine, 2, 3, 4 pounds.
Right.
You want to send something that's now these weights vary, either over 5, 12, and 20, and sort of like rate, by weight. Those are the numbers I've been told that you can get bumped. The heavier your rate grouping, if it's over 20, you are the absolute last to go. If it's over 12, you're right in back of that. If it's over 5, you may or may not be more delayed. So when they don't have time, they don't have room on the truck, the heavier, bigger media mail is delayed.
Okay.
And it's also with other heavy, big media mail, which means heavy boxes tossed on top of each other.
Apparently, USPS shipping supplies are apply also, because I've been waiting for like almost a month for my shipping supplies. I still haven't received them.
Well, I think they're a step behind.
A little bit.
I really should order.
I tell people order early before the holidays. I ordered a month ago and I still haven't gotten them. And now we're in September.
Well, yeah, there may have been a pause actually on making some of those. For a while, I didn't bother to list these, but for a while, when eBay shipping supplies ran out of the padded mailers, I looked into it. I took the smaller size and the larger size. I said, okay, how much does 10 of these things weigh? And the answer is always, putting them in a poly bag, it's always under a pound. Okay. And I just happened to notice because I see sellers out there selling them by the piece, by the tens. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Just like Craig said earlier, just because everyone does it doesn't make it right. He's right.
Right.
Well, some people only want a few pieces, and they're not at this really to make money. They're at this to learn something.
What about when Goodwill sells them? Sells priority mail padded flat rate envelopes. That's messed up. I'm sorry.
Well, the post office should demand the money they sold them for. But quite frankly, if somebody will go into Goodwill and buy a package of priority mailing materials, they're not going to waste them.
True.
The post office is well served at that point.
You got a point there.
So I think there's no harm. I mean, they say you can't sell them, but go ahead.
Yeah, Lori.
I have a package that's going out. I'm scared to send it out now. I've been sitting on it for 2 days because I did wrap it in a black garbage bag and did the rate as a box in a bag, and I put tape all around it. Am I going to get in trouble for something like that?
No.
The worst I think it can happen is somebody may face a higher rate. I wouldn't let it deter you from getting that package out quickly.
True. That's fair.
Take the risk. Somebody might get a charge.
Is this one of your regular customers, right, Lori?
No, it actually it's not. I've been holding it for her, and she was on a road trip for a long time. But it happens to be I upgraded her what she bought, and so it's in a bigger box. And this is why I don't like to sell anything other than jewelry, because I don't like shipping larger items in bigger boxes. I'd rather, unless it's like jewelry in a priority box that I put little boxes in, that's one thing. I feel very comfortable with that. But this whole thing of like, I've been selling other things, that are decor items or primitive, or, I don't feel comfortable in shipping them. I mean, I pack them really well, but I just don't, this whole pirate ship thing is new to me, and
Okay.
I feel insecure about it.
There's a tip from Michelle. Just put another bag in and have like the pointy ends. Don't tape them down.
Lori, I
I guess
think
that makes
the
sense.
best way to look at that, and this is what I do. On many items that I don't have to be hyper competitive, I use calculated shipping, and I put the real weight of the item and its dimensions that are adequate or slightly more to take care of it. And then once the order occurs, it's up to me to figure out if I can reduce my expense. The customer is going to get the same service. And that can be flat rate, it can be regional rate, it can be cubic rate shipping.
But they're still getting shipped at priority.
They're all going out as priority.
Correct. Right.
So if you were to sell magazines, a box of them, you might find that you've exceeded the weight for cubic shipping quickly.
Right.
But you may find that ships in a different priority box, like a large box, just fine, with a lot of space left.
Mm-hmm.
It's now, I'm going to give the simple interpretation of the rule, although the post office keeps contradicting itself all over the place on media shipping. But if you're selling printed bound material that has no paid advertising, no outside advertising, you're fine. If there's advertising in the publication from the publisher for more books, stuff like that, you're also fine. There are some very confusing language about having one pull-outable ordering form in there. So don't just stay with a simple rule. The other thing I do that I think can't hurt, when I ship a paper, a book, a magazine, thing like that, and pretty much if it needs to be protected, it's over 25, over $50, I tend to shrink wrap them before I put them in my padded mailer. If I'm really worried, I'll put extra protection on the corners. That's like $50, $100 or more book. Because that's where it's going to be damaged.
Right.
And I want to ask everybody a question. And I just happen to be standing in front of these. I've got this one's probably not worth very much, but these are old, and I do mean old, sheet music. Now these were either pre-World War I or pre-World War II because they're physically larger than the pages you know today. They went to the smaller page format, believe it or not, to save paper, and then they started printing more pages with bigger margins, And I don't know how to send just a few of those cheaply and be protected.
Got me.
Can you wrap it in like cardboard and then put it in an envelope for media mail?
Like 2 pieces of cardboard and wrapping it with some kind of plastic.
But I'm
putting it in another plastic bag, like double bagging it.
Well, individually, these are only worth $1 or so a piece.
Oh, okay, I got you.
However, if you get old stuff that has patriotic themes, Christmas themes, some of the really this stuff came from a music store about 60, 70 miles away that was just stuff left in the store, never sold, and eventually wound up making its way to a library, and I paid about $4 for a couple hundred of them.
Okay.
The book sale.
So you're
And
selling that
What
for
about
a couple bucks a
putting
piece?
pardon?
You're selling it for a couple dollars a piece per page?
Yeah, well, yeah, 1, 5, 8,
Okay.
something like that,
Okay.
maybe 10.
Okay.
But they're not particularly motivating to list.
Right.
What
Um,
about using thin, like cardboard, like a cereal box type of,
I've thought
item?
about that, and I do that with small things like the punch cards. But these
Uh-huh.
are so big that you know I don't want to fold these, but I could.
No.
And
No.
Then if you go to the dollar store and you get the poster paper, it's $1. You would probably get what
I
about
know
16
now
out of that?
I'm spending 5, 10, 20 minutes to do the packaging, and I'm spending a
True.
buck.
Well, not a buck. You probably at least 6 pieces out of that, I would think. But
No, the
how large is that?
oh, just give me a second. Oh, I got one of these here.
Yeah, I think the poster boards are a good idea, actually, because you can cut them down to size,
Right.
and they're
Like
you
you
get
get them at
like
Dollar
2
Tree,
or
they're
3
$1.
shipping.
Dollars with tax.
Yeah.
Looking to see if I had some of the Dollar Tree foam board. I don't have any in hand.
Yeah, well, I would say like the poster board at
But-
Dollar Tree. Yeah.
You could get maybe that surface area times 4.
4 of them. Okay. So it costs you
Cuts, so you use half.
28 cents with tax. Right.
Yeah, you use half a
If you
board
do a double one, it's 50. Yeah. It's just almost 60 cents. Yeah.
plus the cutting it,
Right. Okay.
and I mean that's a lot of work for not much of anything.
True. True.
Right. True.
If it was
But what
me,
you could do, oh, go ahead.
well, I was just going to say, if it was me, I would package them the way they package comic books, and they called it bagged and boarded. So you've got
Yeah, but that costs more than the item's worth.
Yeah.
charge more.
Well, what if you start bundling them and selling 5 pages instead of just 1? But they're all, related, like all Christmas carols,
Right. They
all.
need to back and boarded it. Right.
Well, yeah, that's a thought. I mean, I started going through
$1
these.
for a bundle.
I'm normally not where I am now. And I started to go through these a couple of years ago, and I put them where I am now. And, is I can't figure out a good way to sell them. The
Just
only
bulk
person
them up and ship them to me.
Yeah, there we go. The only person I know that would say, "Hey, silly, do it this way," would be what's that crazy guy that lectures you all the time? The professor,
Yeah, the auction.
professor.
Auction professor.
John.
Yeah. So, but I mean, now I got to tell you, when I got these were half of a bag of book stuff that I got, with the other half of the bag filled with CDs of musicians, like church organist music, like the ones they buy and share.
Right. Right.
The specialty ones. I had that, and I had another bag full of those same type of CDs. Those CDs, you and I probably wouldn't pay anything for.
Right. But they would.
10, 20, 50, up to $300 a piece.
Wow.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, you made your money on that. So don't
Oh,
worry.
yeah.
You can lose a couple pennies on the other stuff.
Well, I guess I should have used these for packing material.
There you go.
Here's my thought on that. I feel like when I ship out one item in a bubble wrapper, I feel like I'm wasting material. It's a waste in general. So I always say, would you like me to hold it until, we have a couple more sales? And most of the time people do buy a few more things. But when you're on eBay, I think it's best to then bundle. So maybe like sell 10 pages of Christmas carols and maybe 5 of Labor Day or patriotics, music sheets, and then put it in.
Those are worth selling separately.
Okay, well, maybe you see what I'm saying though, like 5
Yes, I
Christmas,
do.
maybe
Right.
5 I don't know, growing harvest or harvesting songs, something kind of balancing, and that, you can bundle it and then sell it for more money, and then put it between 2 pieces of like cardboard poster board, and it's more worth your while, because I find I don't like sending one item out. I feel it's like a waste of material, a waste to the landfill, and it's costly to myself and to the buyer. And I think that, I mean, I personally would feel more comfortable buying 10 pieces of, music sheet or sheet music versus just one page. It's
Well,
just a thought. I don't know.
Lori, I think there's a way to slice it, but I don't think it's a way I would have thought of before.
Right.
It's by the types of instruments or the way it's written, because a lot of these are for our piano and banjo or guitar, and a whole lot of them are for piano and violin, both.
Okay.
And putting 10 semi-related things for piano and violin,
Yeah, that would work.
that would make sense.
Okay. Well, maybe that's what you have to do. Then that makes sense. I think Lori came up with the best idea to bundle what you can, and then, like you said, use the poster board, or use the what do you call it? The soft what do they call that board?
Like
From
the
the
poster
foam
board.
board.
From
The
the
foam
ball.
board. Use the foam board. Cut it to size.
Or foam board.
The foam board
Yeah,
and wrap
either
it.
or.
Yep. Absolutely.
If you cut the foam board, but cut it carefully, like if you have a mat board cutter,
Right.
where you can set the depth, you can pierce the one paper without piercing the other paper. Then it will act like a sandwich.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
There you go. I
And
think that's your answer.
here's the other thing. I always feel like give more than you receive, because they're going to be happy with it, what they got, and they received it in good quality and not damaged. They're going to be ordering from you more. I mean, I get really good compliments from people on how I package my items and the care that I take to put into it. That costs me a little bit more, but you know what? They're always happy, and they're always return customers. And
do you sell in a niche?
no, well, I just mainly do jewelry. I don't feel comfortable doing other things because it's not my niche at all. I stick with what I know, basically.
And what I call that is under promise and over deliver. That's a business term too. So
Yeah, absolutely.
under promise
And
and
then,
over deliver, and then you make your customer happy.
right. And I always put in a personal note, and then I put in maybe a little bit of candy just to say thank you. I appreciate your business.
I can't eat it anymore, but you didn't send me any candy.
Well, you haven't opened up your package, Mr.
That's
Adam.
true.
So how do you
Probably
know?
melted by now.
How do you know?
Listen,
It's probably
guys,
rotted by now.
I'm sorry. We are way over, and I really appreciate you guys joining me. Steven, I definitely have to have you on again. You're dropping some really great nuggets.
Yeah,
Really,
I'm glad it was stuff you
I
haven't
really
heard.
neat stuff. Just talking reselling, you're just dropping things that Lori and I and Valerie probably have never heard of half this stuff, and it's some great tips. But I would love to have you on again. I know people have things to do, and we're pushing 2 hours. But remember, guys, use your coupon. You're $25, and it's happy in caps 25. So
I tried it, Adam. I tried it. It didn't work.
It didn't work.
No, I tried it for a couple items, and it didn't work. So I went back and tried to
for one
order
item?
something. Yep, I tried that, and it said that it wasn't valid for me. I
Wow.
don't know why.
It can't include shipping. Like the item has to be 2501 or more.
Right. And
So
I've used
the item
when they had the other
inside-
coupon, they had supply coupon I used, and I wasn't eligible for it. It worked for me. I mean,
So
I
used,
guess your mileage may vary, but
I tried to buy something that was $35.99, and I put happy all caps and then 25, and it says the promotional code you entered is not valid. So maybe it's based on area or customers, or I've tried because I do want some prepper items. I try to get dehydrated eggs.
Try another account.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like I said,
Another
mileage may vary, but like I said before, I mean, I've discussed on this show. I didn't tell it on YouTube because this was a different thing, and I said it into my Facebook group, and everyone, I would say everyone, 99% of the people that use that code at work. So maybe this is different. Maybe you have to be certain parameters to use the code, but it's all over. It's, like I said, it's on these coupon groups. It's on Instagram. It's in Facebook groups. People are posting this code all over the place. So that's why I figured I would share it with my viewers.
Oh, thank
For
you.
a
I'll try.
while.
Give it a shot. Okay, guys. Again, I appreciate you guys all being here for so long. I didn't intend to go this long, but Stephen was just dropping some knowledge bombs left and right. Just really educated us.
Oh, I do.
Thank you so much. Yeah, go ahead.
I do want to mention one thing, and this is important. Someone in one of the Facebook groups had a piece of jewelry. I thought they knew what it was. It was abalone that had been dyed. And they wanted to know about international shipping. What's the cheapest way? And I'm like, don't
ship abalone. Is that correct,
there are so many different laws in so many different jurisdictions.
Abalone, right?
That anything really of animal or natural origin, unless you really know it's safe to sell where you're going, those are the types of things that can get you really strongly suspended for like 10, 30 days on eBay. So just, know what, be careful with what you offer for international sales.
Sure.
Right. Okay, guys. Again, I didn't mean to go this far, but Stephen was just dropping these knowledge bombs left and right, so we just kept on going. So I appreciate you all hanging with me. Try that coupon. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'm trying to save you guys some money. So
if it doesn't, I want my money back.
You get what you paid for, Stephen.
Absolutely. Get all of it that way.
All right, guys. If you haven't clicked on the like button, please do. And don't forget to subscribe. And we shall see you next time.
Michelle says FedEx has a good list on restricted international items. That's for people who don't read the comments and just hear it.
All righty. Thanks, guys. So see you next time.
Bye-bye.